Hey, how you doing? I got a load of leftover bacon here that I made the other day for another project, and I want to make a fridge raid lunch with it. I'm not really sure which direction I want to take things in quite yet, so I'm just going to get it minced up. It might make a really nice base, like a pasta sauce maybe. Chopping it like this is kind of reminding me of how I made some prawn toast recently, and I have a few prawns left over from another project, so I could make some sort of smoked bacon prawn toast, but that's too much bacon, so I'm going to take a bit out, get these prawns on there and just chop them together to form really nice paste smoky bacon with that snap of prawn texture. Could be a really cool fit. I've got some pork mince left over from when I made some sausages, so I could make some really cool meatballs. Actually, I'm going to get this into a bowl so I can work it really hard to extract the myosin out of the pork so we can make bouncy meatballs. By working the proteins like this, we're essentially creating a sticky protein network that can trap water far better. I'm now thinking about what I can flavour our meatballs with. I found some chives and also some wonton wrappers that I was planning on crisping up for another project. But what I've got here is essentially a wonton mix in lots of ways, just with smoky bacon in it. So I'm going to pivot by getting all these chives in, along with caster sugar, a splash of light soy sauce, some Shaoxing rice wine, just to counter the gaminess of that pork, and a bit of potato starch, just to soak up any excess moisture. Then this mix is looking slightly too tight. I'm just going to add a splash of cold water and just beat that through our mix to make it silky and in the end as bouncy as possible. Look at that gorgeous springy emulsified dumpling mix. I love how food just moved from pasta to meatballs to dumpling in a matter of minutes. Then I'm just going to grab a wonton wrapper, stick in a bit of our filling, wet a couple of the sides and just seal it in, creating a triangle that I can then just crimp upwards to create a gorgeous little wonton before rinsing and repeating with the rest of my mix. This is called the goldfish method because you end up with something that looks a bit like a goldfish, I guess. And while I was crimping, I had time to think about a sauce I could put under them. I want to play on a sauce from Hong Kong called XO sauce, so I can also use up that minced bacon I didn't use earlier. And it starts with a really finely chopped shallot. I'm just going to fry it in plenty of oil until it starts to pick up a little bit of colour before adding that bacon, along with some chopped up dried shrimp that I often keep in the freezer for papaya salads and that sort of thing. And I'm probably going to add some minced garlic towards the end. Then that super savoury foundation mixture and just gets poured over mild chilli flakes for fruitiness and some hot chilli flakes for warmth. I'm then going to season it with salt, sugar, maybe a little pinch of MSG to make a really quick take on an XO sauce. I was having a think about texture, so I'm going to grab a pan with some oil in it, get that over a medium heat so we can take vermicelli rice noodles and just crumble them in until they puff up and become crisp. I can then take them and dust them with sushi vinegar powder to give the dish acidity. So now we can grab a bowl, spoon in our XO sauce, blur on our wontons, scatter over a few chives, add those crispy noodles for crunch, a little mix to coat those wontons, that gorgeous XO sauce. That smoky bacon that runs through the whole dish just seasons everything. I'm going to retest this recipe, write it up and get it into my newsletter. It should be up now. Up there. Over and out.